Hello, it is March 4th, 2023. I have been learning one of the hardest lessons that one could possibly learn in life, I feel. And what is that lesson? That lesson is letting go. Letting go of people that I feel immense love for. I swear to God, it started in 2022 and it's spilling over into 2023. Literally all of my good friends, I want to say like 3/4 of them, left for the mainland. You can't stop people from moving along their life's journey, and a lot of times you can't accompany them either. And this has been one of my banes in life. I suppose it revolves around abandonment issues, but with this most recent person, it's weird. I feel like this great depth of pain, but I feel like this pain is necessary in order for me to transform into a higher version of myself. And let me explain. So, old me was heavily attached to my connections. Heavily. And I think I equated people leaving me as abandonment, but I was actually abandoning myself by looking for the connection with others instead of reconnecting with myself. So, I don't know if you've heard this analogy about how, because we usually associate heartbreak with, something bad, but in this instance, heartbreak is good. How so? So, if your heart has been covered in armor and walls and layers, each time you encounter something that breaks the wall down or breaks the armor off, you're actually opening your heart up to really feeling and accessing unconditional love. That's the way I see it. So you're not necessarily breaking your heart, you're freeing it. The pain, I've said this in another video, the pain is like an initiation of flame, burning off impurities that hide you from your true self. This last connection that I had, I'm still processing it. Honestly, it's so painful. There's kids. But if we were trying to chip at the wall and the armor that has bound our heart up, this one has definitely penetrated the wall and the armor. It's one of the most painful things. And knowing that I held so much love for this person, and it didn't feel reciprocated, even created more pressure, obviously, to break through my armor and my walls that I had built up. Now I'm like healing and also seeing with different eyes. I have nothing but love. Well, because my heart's open, right? It's been freed. So now I can love the way I'm supposed to love, with no conditions and no attachment, just gratitude. I don't know if that makes sense. You know, I think the hardest thing literally is just letting go of another person. It's like the hardest thing. Think about it. I think that's why people become isolated, or they choose to live alone, or they choose to block themselves off from any type of meaningful connection. Oh wow, I'm sorry for these people yelling. Interesting. But anyways, um, I think that's the hardest lesson. So, like, obviously life has changed, and every time you change, you need to leave something behind. But I think connections that you form with people are probably the most devastating. But we need to reframe our perception. Instead of seeing this as bad, we can see it as destroying, like I said, the walls that we put up, the guards we put up, the armor we put on, the everything we've been trying to protect ourselves and guard ourselves with around our heart. We get to get an opportunity to experience the pain, and the pain becomes the tool that breaks everything down and opens your heart up, frees your heart, and allows you to I'm sorry, I'm getting lost in my thoughts. Allows you to let more gratitude, acceptance, grace, and peace and love into your life. And then you recognize that every single person that has entered your experience, no matter how short or how long, they've all served their purpose. And their purpose was to remind you to go back to yourself. And when all the armor comes down and the walls come down and the guards come down and your heart is wide open, then you can really connect with yourself. Like, really connect with yourself. Like, see yourself and know that you are whole and complete on your own, and everybody outside of you is a reminder, and everyone outside of you is still trying to figure it out, and you can hold space for them as they figure it out. You know? I don't know if I made sense, but I felt inclined to make this video because currently I am having to move through one of the hardest lessons I've had in a really, really, really long time. I feel like it's been a very significant lesson from a significant person that I have to let go of. Also, what was I going to say? Where was I going with this? How do you deal with the pain of letting someone go? It's hard. It's hard work. It's not easy. It's not an easy task, and it's not for the faint of heart. It takes a lot of strength, a lot of courage, a lot of willpower to just radically accept life as it comes, as it goes, to pick yourself back up and just keep on keeping on. And then recognizing that even though like you're going through this, it's temporary, just as is all things, and you will get through it and you will be better for it because you will be more of yourself and your heart will be free. Blessings to one and all. Amen.